Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Anwar Youssef Dunbar, and this is Big Discussions 76 Sports. First of all, please like this video, please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. If you want to throw something in the tip jar, that information is below this video as well. And with that, let's jump in. Well, hey guys, this is Ohio State week. It's the week of the game. And I just realized, guys, this is also the battle for the Big Ten East. The winner goes on to Indianapolis, where they may play. Well, if it's Ohio State, in all likelihood, they will get a berth in the college football playoff. But nonetheless, this is the battle for the Big Ten East. And over the summertime, I didn't expect that Michigan would be in contention for this again. And I think that ESPN didn't pick this. And I think the majority of folks saw this as a rebuilding year, especially with the atrophy of players from the last 2 years and the coaching staff turning over the way it did. Jim went with a younger group. And there are a lot of us who didn't think Michigan would be in this position. So with this being Thanksgiving week, it's well, I'm thankful that Michigan is here. But let's I sound like Brady Hoke there. Let's see what they can do. Let's see what happens. The trolling is already starting. Buckeye Alex is texting me every day saying we're gonna kick your teeth in, we're gonna blow your doors off, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And yeah, guys, there's a scarlet and gray freight train barreling down on the big house this Saturday. So what are the Wolverines going to be able to do? By the way, another piece of smack that Buckeye Alex, that's his official name here on this channel. Another piece of smack talk Buckeye Alex sends my way is it's our house. So right now, Buckeye fan feels like the big house is their house. So let's see what happens. So guys, in a live stream earlier, about a month ago, I showed you guys a DVD copy of Rocky III. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. And there's a key scene in Rocky III that I think really represents or captures my approach to the battle for the Big Ten East on Saturday. And that's when Apollo and Duke, they've decided to train Rocky, and Rocky has agreed to it, and they're sitting and they're watching footage of Clubber Lang pummel Rocky in their first fight, and they remark, man, that Clubber is strong. And then they say, okay, well, we got to beat him within 3 to 4 rounds, and after that, Rocky's going to run out of steam and he's going to get pummeled again. So that's kind of how I'm looking at this game. I'm not a delusional fan who has predicted that the Lakers would win their 18th title, even though they didn't have that kind of team. Shout out to Abdul Gaines. I'm a practical fan, I'm a pragmatist, and I'm going into the game on Saturday hoping that Michigan makes it competitive and Michigan stays close, and I'm hoping that they don't get their doors blown off the way that Michigan State did this last Saturday. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm going to be going in and just watching the game and with a tempered disposition. I'm not going to go in with delusional thoughts of, we're going to beat Ohio State this year. That's not me. And many of you said you've appreciated my even-keeled, practical analysis. So with that, I pulled some stats from the Big Ten football standings. You guys can go there online and look for yourself. But I pulled some stats off as I was thinking about this, and I'm going to just go through these, and then I'm going to end this video with some closing thoughts about what Michigan has to do to at least keep the game close. Okay guys, so for this portion of the video, what I did is I went online to the Big Ten's compilation of the football standings and statistics. So I think to predict what might happen in the battle for the Big Ten East in 2021, I think you have to look at the statistics and just look at the trends, and look at the averages, and look at the totals, and you have to get a feel for how these teams have done and how things are going to shake out on the field at the Big House on Saturday. And so I'm going to start here with total points. I scribbled down Ohio State's ranking there. Of course, you know Ohio State is number one, and they've scored to date, and these will change after this weekend. Ohio State has scored 519 total points, and Michigan has scored 406 total points. So Michigan has scored about 80% of the points that Ohio State has, which is close. Scientifically, we don't consider those to be much different, but the remainder of the stats, the majority of these are going to be yardage. So I'm going to be talking strictly about yardage and how many yards were allowed and how many yards were generated as well. So in terms of yardage, in terms of total offense, Ohio State is ranked number one, and they've generated 6,155 total yards. Michigan, again, I didn't write the ranking down in the standings, but Michigan has racked up 4,927 yards. I think Michigan was second or third, or is second or third. That's the writer in me trying to get these tenses correct. In terms of total yards allowed, Michigan is ranked number 3. The Michigan defense has allowed 3,367 yards. The Ohio State defense is ranked number 7, and they've allowed 3,890 yards. Not a big difference, only about 500 yards difference, but that could be an indicator of what's to come on Saturday. In terms of total offensive rushing yards, you know that's been the bedrock, at least early on, of Michigan's offensive production, and that drew a lot of attention early this season. So Michigan is ranked number 2 with a total of 2,402 rushing yards. Ohio State is ranked number 4 with 2,170 total rushing yards. In terms of rush defense, or should I say rushing defense, Ohio State is ranked number 2, allowing 1,125 yards. Michigan is ranked number 6, allowing 1,405 yards. So not a big difference, but that could play out, as Ohio State they seem to be defending the run pretty well, and that's a part of Michigan's success. So let's look to see what happens there at the line of scrimmage. In terms of passing offense, as we've seen and as to be expected, Ohio State is ranked number 1. They've generated 3,985 total yards. Michigan is ranked number 7 and has generated 2,525 yards. The Wolverines have put together a passing game. Of course, we know Ronnie Bell went out in that first game, and but the other guys like Cornelius Johnson, Andrew Anthony, AJ Henning, Dalen Baldwin, and all of those guys have seemed to have stepped up. We've gotten production from Luke Schoonmaker and Eric All. So the passing game has slowly but surely evolved and has started to blossom a little bit. And that's going to well, I won't say a little bit too, I'll say significantly. And that's going to play a big role in what happens on Saturday. In terms of pass defense, this is huge. Michigan is ranked number 2, allowing 1,962 yards. And Ohio State is ranked 12th, allowing 2,773 yards. So keep an eye on that. Our passing game is expanding and evolving, and Ohio State they've allowed quite a few pass yards. So let's see what happens there. In terms of return yards, Ohio State, and this is on kick returns, Ohio State is ranked number 1, and Michigan is ranked number 3. This is average return yards. Let's see, our teams are the top 2 teams in field goals made, I believe. That's got to be field goals made. So this is huge. In terms of third downs converted, Ohio State ranks number 1, and you would expect that with a potent offense. And in terms of third down conversions allowed against opponents, I believe I'm reading this correctly, Ohio State ranks number 11. So this isn't a Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick defense that we're going up against, and there may be opportunities for our young offense to have some success. So those are the statistical trends, and those are things that I found on the Big Ten football website. So now I'm going to talk about what Michigan needs to do and also not do to have a chance at winning the battle for the Big Ten East. So the final part of this video will consist of questions and also things that the Wolverines can't have on Saturday if they're going to at least keep the game close. So I wrote down 3 and outs, okay, against this Ohio State offense that's clicking on all cylinders. The Wolverines cannot afford to have multiple 3 and outs and scoring droughts. So no, long stretches of third quarter with 3 and outs, and no long stretches of any quarter with 3 and outs. Otherwise, we're going to end up getting our doors blown off like Michigan State did last week. Dropped passes. The young guys have been getting better, but in terms of dropped passes, they're going to have to pull everything in. I'm looking at you, Cornelius Johnson. So when deep balls come your way, you've got to find a way to pull those balls in. 2 years ago, the year after the revenge tour, Josh Gaddis's first season at the Big House, one of the things that led to that loss was numerous drops against that Ohio State defense. Had those balls been pulled in, drives would have been kept alive, momentum would have continued to have built, and Michigan could have come close to they could have at least come close to winning that game. But drop balls, that can kill our team on Saturday. Unforced errors / penalties. So Luke Schoonmaker, stay in your stance until the ball gets snapped. We can't have you and Hassan Haskins chop blocking the same player. We can't have boneheaded offsides penalties like Khalil Hudson had a couple of years ago. You just can't have too many players on the field. You just can't have those types of unforced errors against this Ohio State team. You can't have Cade throwing balls, hitting the helmets of linemen. You just can't have those things. You can't have Cade holding the ball too long and waiting for receivers to come out of their breaks. He's going to have to go to that next level and throw receivers open. So penalties and unforced errors will kill our chances of at least staying close with Ohio State in this game. Or play calling. And Johnny Olden's been outspoken about this. They're going to have to, whether it's Jimbo or Josh, they're going to have to mix it up, and they're going to have to keep things interesting. You can't just go slamming the ball into the line play after play after play. They're going to have to, go with what works. Throwing to Donovan Edwards, that worked last week. Looking for the tight ends. All those different things. Just keep it exciting, keep it new, keep Ohio State back on their heels, and don't do things like continuing to slam the ball into the line of scrimmage and the offensive line and the defensive line, especially if Ohio State hasn't figured out. And please, no wildcat plays at those most inopportune times of the game when we need scores. So, and I'm not a complete critic of the Wildcat, but it just seems like our offensive staff over the years, we've called that when at the most inopportune times of the game. Can our offense score enough points, and also can the defense slow that Ohio State offense down to some degree? I think that's going to be the key to the game overall. Can our offense play above where it's played, and can our defense slow down that Ohio State offense to some degree? It's going to be hard. They've got those 3 wide receivers. They've got that running back coming out of the backfield. You have to, you think, okay, Mike McDonald, he's been a defensive coordinator in the NFL, so he's seen pretty much everything, but also the players have to go out and make the plays. So will they be able to do enough to slow down that offense? I think Johnny mentioned the center of the field, and how are they going to play those receivers? Are they going to drop back and play some zone? Or are Vincent Gray and some of those other guys going to try to chase Chris Olave up and down the field? So they're going to have to do something to confuse C.J. Stroud, something to change it up, something to make them do things they haven't had to do thus far this season. So will they be able to do something, or will Ohio State just empty the clip and just blow the doors off the way they did against Michigan State? So yeah, guys, that's what I got here. Once the adrenaline wears off, once that initial emotion of playing Ohio State and being in the battle for the Big Ten East, once that initial emotion goes away, how are our young Wolverines going to do against this scarlet and gray freight train that's barreling down on the big house? So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please like this video, please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. Once again, if you want to throw something in the tip jar, that information is below this video. Go Blue, everyone. Enjoy your holiday, and let's see what happens on Saturday. So I'm going to switch my ball over here like a good running back. Ball security. Go Blue. And as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Take care, and I'll talk to you the next time. Bye-bye.